Today was spent on very high roads in Colorado through the world's most perfect scenery, and then down to visit Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park from an angle that very few get to see. Warning, the scenery in this video is an embarrassment of riches. It wasn't quite freezing in Leadville on the morning of day 51, but it was cold, but sunny, and we had quite a drive ahead of us. Since we'd decided against Rocky Mountain National Park, we headed south instead towards Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. But as we turned onto infamous Colorado Highway 82, I wasn't sure this was the right decision for the road trip. I mean, if the travel gods could just give us a sign, just any kind of sign at all that we were on the right road. Alright, that'll do. Let's go. Highway 82 leads you to Independence Pass, Colorado's second highest paved road that isn't a dead end. It took us forever to get to the top though. The fresh air and the alpine scenery and the lively creeks were just too distracting. Independence Pass is 12,095 feet above sea level, and it's above the tree line. Even here in May, the snow is deep. The road does close each winter, so we were lucky it was open at all. The pass is also on the Continental Divide. From here on out, the rest of the road trip will be in the true western part of the US. I was feeling weak from the altitude just driving through, but it's really impossible to feel bad when looking at these views. A few minutes down the other side of the pass is the ghost town of Independence. Gold was discovered here and a town sprang up in the 1880s, circumstances which included driving out the native Ute tribe down from their long-inhabited mountains to lower lands elsewhere. Things went downhill for the town almost immediately. The gold quickly ran out, and then a railroad diverted traffic from the nearby wagon road, and then severe snowstorms finally drove out everyone, and the town and its log cabins were abandoned. We passed the last of the snowdrifts and made it to the famously pleasant resort town of Aspen. By here, the landscape was noticeably more southwestern, with its red hills and scrub brush, although there were still some elements of the high mountain areas. If only there was some kind of sign that we were still going in the right direction. Some of the best things about a road trip like this are the unexpected ones. We were driving along Crystal River south of Carbondale and just happened to notice this large waterfall pouring out of the rocks. Even better, this is what it usually looks like here. It must be snowmelt and our lucky timing. And here's another. This row of structures is called the Redstone Coke Ovens. These restored containers were originally from the 1890s. Coal was heated inside them to coke it, which is to turn it into carbon. It was then loaded onto trains and hauled away, which, as we'll see, still happens. And this is McClure Pass, at a mere 8,755 feet above sea level. It takes you into Gunnison County and into Gunnison National Forest, and it separates the headwaters of Crystal River from the North Fork Gunnison River. The national park is getting ever closer. But first, Colorado Highway 133 continued the story of Colorado's coal mining country for us. And keep an eye on that train. It'll show up again later. One of the last towns we passed through before the national park was Crawford. It has about 400 people. Among them used to be singer Joe Cocker, who lived for many years on a ranch down this road and is buried in the town cemetery. Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park can be visited by either the South Rim or here, the North Rim. The welcome sign here on the north side wasn't especially crowded. This is one of the least visited national parks, and those who do come usually go to the South Rim. There isn't even a visitor center on the north side. At first, you can't really see anything. What canyon? What's the big deal? But then you go around a curve, and there it is, deep and steep. The Gunnison River drops quickly in elevation here, and the force erodes the rock downwards faster than other forces erode it outward. The result is the deep and awesome Black Canyon, with its sheer walls, dark shadows, and captivating rock formations. And it was windy today, giving an extra thrill to the unnerving heights and the flimsy-looking fences. Didn't seem to bother the residents much, though. We left the North Rim for the drive to the city of Montrose. It's a long loop around, but somehow Colorado wasn't yet finished with its fascinating landscapes just yet. And this is the bridge over the Gunnison River itself, which here is much more tame and gentle than at the bottom of the violent canyon just a few miles away. The city of Montrose seems low after all the places our car took us today, but it's still over a mile above sea level. But at this lower altitude I was feeling much better, and Montrose seemed pretty cool, with its guitar shops and its unibrow McDonald's. Man, the exotic things you see when traveling in strange new lands. Unsurprisingly, we turned to fast food fish for dinner. My blood sugar had been high since last night, and I went online to see exactly how many carbs are in this stuff, and thus how much insulin to take. Turns out even these little ketchup packs have a bunch of sugar added. But it worked. I took a big shot, and before bed was a near perfect 139. Up high and back down, just like the drive itself today. Tomorrow we visit the south rim of the Black Canyon, negotiate an extremely steep road down to the bottom to see the Gunnison River up close, and catch the famous sunset on a perfect evening.